Today's video, what we're going to be going through is why spending more time, more actual time with clients can sometimes actually devalue you in the client's eyes. You spend more time with the client thinking that that's what the client wants and you're going to give them a better service, going to give them more value, but in actual fact, you end up being worth less, right? You're giving more, but you end up being worth less. And it is like the worst thing to do, right? Because you're putting in more effort and you're actually getting a diminishing return on that effort. Now, it's a very, very critical piece. You need to understand this, whether you're an online trainer or you're an in-person trainer, whether you have a gym, whatever it might be, you need to understand this concept. Because if you don't, a lot of trainers fall into the trap. They can't get out of this trap. And as a result, they just keep digging even further, spending even more time with clients, and then wondering why clients leave them, ask for discounts, pay late, don't stick around, whatever it might be. Don't get results, right? This is a critical piece that you can fall into. And then when you start to fall into the trap, you only end up digging yourself even further, thinking, oh, I'm going to kind of dig my way out, right, by digging down, and it doesn't work. And it's such a common misconception that's so easy to break and get out of this trap. And I'm going to take you through that in today's video. I speak to so many trainers, so many coaches every single day, every single week, and it's surprising. Ones that are earning, less than $5,000 a month, ones that are earning above $20,000, $30,000 a month, right? I spoke to an amazing client of mine who does over $1 million a year, 100,000. He did 117,000 last month, and he's got a good little team. He's got a gym and he's got an online business. He's got a good little team, some great trainers. And he was asking me the other day around a trainer that he had, a little bit younger than him. He's got him under his wing and he's trying to bring him along, right, and help him grow. And this trainer's super smart, knows his stuff, but he was finding that no matter what, like all the other trainers can handle, let's call it 20 clients, right, each. And this one trainer could only handle 10 clients and kept saying, no, I'm full, I'm too busy, I can't take any more. And as a result, he wasn't able to get the income that he wanted. And he was like, oh, it sucks because I'm super busy, but I can't take on any more clients. And then when you look at it, he was taking on a lot less clients than what other people were able to do quite successfully, right, and easily. And it was this relationship that he had in his mind. And once again, it's just an example, but there is so many people I speak to all of the time that are like, they do a session with a client or they speak to a prospect or whatever it might be. And they think at the end of the session, all right, cool. Let's say it was an hour session, right? Let's just say you're in person or you're doing a Zoom workout or whatever it might be. And then you spend 10, 15, 20 minutes chatting with that client afterwards, give him some tips, giving him some help, giving him some more guidance, or like rather than having the session finish up on the hour, it kind of pushes out over, right? Because you're like, well, I want to give this person more value. I want to, maybe their membership's finishing up soon. I'm going to try and re-sign them or whatever it might be. So I'm going to give them a bit more love, right? And it ends up just bleeding over and becoming more and more and more. And you end up getting into, like what I meant before, if you fall into this trap, you end up just digging even further. So then one time you spend 5 minutes extra, then it's 10 minutes. And then after a couple of weeks, you're spending an hour and a half with that person when they're only really paying you for an hour. Now, this is what I'm referring to is the type of trainer or coach who are selling time for money, whether that's in person or doing Zoom sessions. Now, if you're an online coach, of course, you're more leveraged because you're selling your information and education and transformation rather than your time. But there is some component of time in there, like your support. You might have a support call with a client, right? Now, and you might say, hey, these sessions are once every 2 weeks, for example, for half an hour. And rather than half an hour, you end up spending 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. They end up going weekly. They end up then starting to happen twice a week, whatever it might be. Now, the connection between the thought and the connection between time, more time equals more value, is one of the worst mindsets. And it's one of the main things that keep people where they don't want to be, right? In terms of feeling stuck, right? We only have so much time in the day. So we need to be smart with our time, and we need to use systems and automation and information to leverage rather than just repeating the same thing over and over to 10 different people over 10 hours, like an hour each. You can, as an online coach, you can use your information, package the system, create that information once or that program once, and then push it out to 10 people. So you're already getting a tenfold value to effort to time. Now, unfortunately, most people who come from an in-person, face-to-face, time for money, and then go online, they've still got this connection to this time. More time equals more value, right? And ultimately, guys, clients, and what I mean by that, what I mean by the more time you spend, sometimes you're actually worth less in the mind of the prospect, is in two ways. One, high value people, right? High value, high demand people, right? That do not have time to just give out free to everyone and anyone, right? If someone pays you for an hour, for example, and you spend an hour and a half with them, and then the next time you're just mucking around and you're like, oh, it's cool, I don't have another client for 2 hours or whatever it might be. A highly in-demand person doesn't allow that happen because they're back to back. They've got other people chasing them. They're in high demand, right? And a low demand person, or what's seen as a low value coach, trainer, whatever it might be, just has all the free time in the world, right? And this is a psychological piece, right? It doesn't mean that if you are half booked right now and you do have time, it doesn't mean that you can only do this once you're fully booked. What I mean by is you need to position yourself and create yourself to be the character of an in-demand person, and then people will see you as high value and see you as in demand, right? And what I mean by that is that it's the unsaid thing. You're with a prospect or you're with a client, and if you've got so much time up your sleeve, right, that you can just hand it out for free and muck around and let things go over and whatever it might be, subconsciously it says to your client or to your prospect that, you know what, no one else really wants this trainer. No one else, this guy or girl is not in demand. There's no one else really chasing them. So what does that tell me? That they're probably not that good. There's probably better trainers out there that could be getting me better results. So then they subconsciously start questioning and thinking, are they really giving me the best information, the best workout? Is there someone out there that is better than them? That maybe I might cancel with this person and find that in-demand person, right? And it's what's called social proof, right? It's a concept of influence called social proof. And ultimately, it's ingrained in our DNA through hundreds of thousands of years of evolution that if you see other people doing things or wanting something, then that thing must be good, right? And it's just the way our brain's wired. Like if you think about a club, right? Or you know what? Apple. Every time Apple does a launch, what do? They have lines out the building, right, of people. They do a launch, they have lines out the building of people waiting to get this new product, right? And they bring along media and they film these lines. And right, rather than just like posting it out to the people, they create this to go out into the media to be like, look at all of these people lining up to buy this new thing. And then what that does is it creates in the mind of other people like, shit, if people are going to stay out all night lining up to try and get this new iPhone, it must be the best thing ever. I should get it too. I'm going to see it of huge value. Like, who would wait out in the cold for hours to try and get this thing if it wasn't that good? So it must be good, right? It must be in high demand and high value, right? So you need to put boundaries around your time. One, because your clients, your prospects will see you of high value subconsciously. They'll want to stick around with you more. They'll listen more to what you'll say. They'll implement more what you'll say. They'll actually get more results, right? And when they're getting more results and they see you of high value, they're going to continue to pay you what you're worth, right? And they're going to tell their friends about you and all that sort of stuff. So that's that side. The other side is you control your day. You control your time a lot more, right? So rather than having a 1 hour session and having that bleed over into an hour and a half, well, that half an hour that you're just giving out for free, you can be majorly effective in that time. You can do whatever you want. Like you can go for a walk if that's all you want to do, or you can spend that half an hour actually growing and building your business and working on the next stuff, getting more leads, getting more clients, right? So it's going to have a twofold effect. Clients that are with you right now are going to stay around longer. They're going to see you of high value. They're going to pay you on time, not ask for discounts, not start looking around for other options. And they're going to implement what you tell them because they're going to believe you more and they're going to get more results. You're going to get more testimonials, right? And then that's going to work. And then at the same time, you're going to have more time, right? So there's a twofold impact, which is massive. It's absolutely massive, right? Now, in addition to that, I spoke to a trainer the other day who was an online trainer. He's amazing. He's doing really well. He's on track to hit 20K this month. That'll be his first 20K month. He's done 15 the month before, 12 the month before. So he's grown rapidly, which is great. But he was speaking to clients every single day. He would, he's like, oh, my clients are really busy. They want help. I'm charging high ticket. So I'm going to have a 5 or 10 minute call, check in with them every single day, right? Because they need that. I'm charging them a lot, so I need to give them something. I need to give them something of massive value. And when I spoke to him, I was like, you said these clients are busy clients, they're wealthy clients, whatever it might be. Do you reckon they have the time? Do you reckon they actually have the time? Like you said, they're busy. Do you reckon they have 10 minutes every single day to speak to you about what they just spoke to you about yesterday? Right? What do you really, after speaking to them 7 days in a row, what are they really going to tell you? Like, oh, today I woke up and I forgot to, eat that thing and whatever it might be. And then the next day, oh, today I woke up and I did a workout and that's good. Like, they're busy people, right? And what will end up happening after like the 4th or 5th call, leading up to the call, they'll be dreading it because they're just like, I'm busy, I've got stuff to do. This guy's going to talk to me or this girl's going to talk to me for 10 minutes. I've got nothing really new to tell them. I've got no questions for them. And it's just kind of boring. Like we end up just talking about how the day is, right? And after the 4th, 5th time, right, leading up to the call, the person's going to be like, oh, and then they'll start cancelling the calls, right? Oh, I've got nothing to do. I've got nothing more updates, Chris. Can we cancel today? I'll speak to you tomorrow. And then they'll cancel the next one. And then all of a sudden they're going to start going, well, why am I paying this person, right? I'm not using the daily calls. I'm not getting any value from the daily calls. I don't want the daily calls because I've got other shit to do, right? And so rather than, like, this coach was thinking, I'm going to speak to them daily so that they feel like they're getting high value, right? But in actual fact, he was speaking to him daily and reducing his value in their eyes because it was just becoming annoying, all right? And then they'll cancel it. And then they're like, well, why am I paying this person? So you see the connection between, well, I'm changing them high, I've got to spend more time with them. And in actual fact, your prospect, they just want a result, right? They don't want to talk about the weather every single day for 10 minutes or whatever it might be. They want a result, especially if they're busy. Like they just want a shortcut to wherever they want to get to. And they don't necessarily care how much actual time, like in person or on phone or wherever you actually spend to them, spend with them. If you can just get them to where they want to get to. If you spend an hour with them or you spend 100 hours with them, if you can get it from point A to point B, all they care about is going from point A to point B. So you've got to break that connection of time and value. And you can see just with those examples I gave you, how it can get you stuck and how actually spending more time will actually reduce your value. And then if you don't break that and you just keep spending more time, you're going to reduce your value more and more. And you're just going to be like, why are these people leaving? Why are the clients leaving? I'm giving more and more time, more and more energy. Hopefully that makes sense. And I really do hope that anyone that's in this trap, it helps them identify the reasons why they need to get out of this. They need to break that mindset of time. More time equals more value, right? More value equals more value. That is the truth. More results equal more value, not time. So hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any questions on any of this, feel free to shoot me an email, chris@tribefit.co. You can send me a DM on social media, Instagram or Facebook, and I'd be more than happy to help you move forward, get more clients, have more impact, and ultimately get paid what you're worth as a result of all the people and lives you're changing. That's it from me. Have an amazing day. Cheers.